welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, please hit a like, and what do we have here today? We've got an old vintage Tudor, which is, I guess, a low-end Rolex watch that I'm going to be reassembling. I had made a video disassembling it just earlier, and this is the reassembly of the watch. It went through the cleaning devices today, so completely clean, and I'm just taking all of the stuff out of the bins right now and just getting it all organized. So I'm not going to talk through this video because I made this video without chatting like I normally do, and I apologize about that. But you can just put some background music on and watch it, or make comments on it. But it's a fairly interesting reassembly of this old watch. I guess the hardest part of the reassembly was the fact that when you're regulating it, you got to take the movement out, flip it around, put it back in the case, test it, take it out of the case, flip it around, move the regulating arm again and put it back in the case, etc., etc. So it was a real pain. And I got to use my little tiny movement holder here that's got a nice little Marshall movement holder, I think. I can't remember the name, I think it is. But it's pretty high end. It's a small movement holder though. So anyway, enjoy the video, and please leave comments, and we'll talk again. JD, back again. If you actually made it this far, then you've made it pretty darn far. So here I'm putting the hands back on this very small watch. I didn't use my very professional hand placers that I had because I figured I could push them on with my hand press without any big problem. And I didn't. It seemed to work. It was kind of in between a very small hand press and a very big one with a big hole on it, and I was able to put them on without too much difficulty. So that was the hand pressing job, and I had to make sure that they cleared. So you're looking at it from all angles here to make sure the hands are actually clearing, and you don't have a big issue. And the hardest part of this whole watch, I think, after it was reassembled and stuff, was actually regulating it, because I had to keep taking it out of the case and then putting it in the case and then regulating it and then taking it out, putting it in and regulating it, and back and forth and back and forth. So I finally got it down to something like minus 10 seconds a day. And then still I'll let this thing run overnight, and maybe in the morning I'll see if I can regulate it again. But it's really difficult to regulate because it's not easy you can't just take the back off because it's a full case. So that was the hardest part. This little watch regulator, it's not like my multifunction time grapher I have. It's a time graph microphone, and I plug that into my computer, and I use a program that I have, the e-timer program. As you can see, watch escapement analysis and timer. That little program costs you about $750, so it's not a cheap program. It's great for looking at the actual pocket watches more than watches, but it does give you a very accurate timing. Now I'm just making this bold assumption that the lift angle is 52 degrees. I am not sure what the lift angle is on these old Tudors. Maybe it's 48 or whatever, but it was close enough. So close enough for government work, as they say. I'm getting plus 96 here. I knew it had to slow down quite considerably, and which means I have to take it out of the case again and tweak it. So that's exactly what I did. I tested again, as you can see. Now here I'm putting it back in to see how close I got to a good amplitude and a decent beat error. The beat error actually was pretty good on this watch. It's not too bad at all. 0.34, 0.4, not too bad. And the amplitude was actually very good too, but again, that depends on whether my lift angle was accurate or not. I know it was running at 18,000 beats per hour. It's a very old watch, so that was pretty much expected. And this would not be what we would call a timekeeper for the owner. This would be just a normal watch that they'd use wearing around the house and stuff, maybe, or just for special occasions, wind it up and use it. So here I'm taking a regulator arm and kind of trying to move it to get it a little bit closer to where it needs to be. And it kind of worked, but it was real pain, I got to tell you. So in this watch I was repairing or cleaning and reassembling for my brother. It's a friend of his watch. He just kind of dropped it on me and said, "Hey, can you fix this watch?" I'm like, how do I say no? So I ended up doing it anyway. So it's kind of burnt my Saturday doing this, which is fine. And I had a pocket watch that I wanted to finish, but I needed to get this one done first and get this out of the way. I plan on doing a little bit of watch work tomorrow maybe, and then a little bit in the evenings next week, just to get ahead of everything here, so I don't feel the pressure of being so far behind. I also have a couple of platform balances that somebody wants me to do work on, and I don't want to take them yet because I won't be able to complete them. So here I'm just cleaning up the crystal a bit. It looks pretty good. I could have used some cleaning, what's it called, crystal, what is it, Pico something, Pico Clean or something. Anyway, there's crystal cream you can use to clean the crystal up even more, but when I looked at it, it was in pretty darn good condition for an old vintage watch, so I didn't bother doing that. Now this watch, it's just pressure placed. You just push it down, and I had to pick it up to push it down, so just make sure the groove for the stem is in the right place, and you don't have problems walking away with the stem in your hand. that's not a good thing. So I looked very closely to make sure I was, when I pressed it down, I wasn't going to squeeze anything, break anything. You should always do that when you're placing the crystal back in the watch. So there, it's done. I'm going to show you how beautiful this thing is. I don't like the strap. It's kind of a fakey little leather strap. Should have a vintage strap on that, and not this custom alligator thing. So it's funny, all these old watches, you wind them backwards, they tend not to work, and then you wind them forward, they start again. It's very funny. That used to be a hack back in the day of how to stop your watch. You just wind it backwards a bit, and you had to do it ever so slowly. We used to do that on the old Seiko watches. So there you go. That's it. That's the Tudor watch. This is probably a 40s or 50s watch. It's pretty old, I gotta say. One thing I didn't do is scratch my name on the inside as the watchmaker who last repaired it. Usually it's a catalog number in there anyway, and it's not the date. When you see a number in there, it's usually the watchmaker's catalog number that they put in there. So that's the Tudor. Hopefully you got this far to the end so you can listen to me chatting away. I put a bunch of annoying music in the middle of the video. You can always turn it down on YouTube. And there's the result. Threw it back into the time grapher here, and I'm looking at around minus 10 seconds. And that's pretty good. Minus 10 seconds per day. That's pretty good, and the amplitude is running really well. 272. Again, that has a lot to do with whether I set the lift angle correctly, but we're running pretty strong anyway. So that's it. I'm JD. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll catch you next time. And we'll see what we can learn in the next watchmaking adventure. Thanks again. Bye.